The following evening, Claire walked up the creaky steps of Daniel's small home, carrying a modest bag of groceries. She almost turned back twice, nerves threatening to undo her courage. But when the door opened and Emily squealed, "You came!" all doubt melted away. Inside, the house was warm, filled with the comforting smell of baked bread. Daniel had clearly tried his best, the table neatly set though mismatched, and a vase of wildflowers sitting proudly in the center. As they sat down together, the awkwardness faded. Emily chattered about school, her favorite cartoons, and how her daddy once tried to cook pancakes but made smoke instead. Claire laughed, a sound that seemed to surprise even her. Daniel watched her closely, noticing how Emily clung to her hand, how naturally she listened. It felt like pieces of his broken family were being gently put back together. After dinner, Emily insisted on showing Claire her drawings. One picture stopped Claire cold. It was of 3 stick figures holding hands beneath a bright sun. "That's you," Emily explained proudly, pointing at the one in a dress. "Us 3 together." Claire's throat tightened. She excused herself to the porch, where Daniel soon found her staring at the night sky. "You don't have to explain," he said softly, leaning on the railing beside her. But Claire shook her head. "No, you deserve to know. I left an abusive marriage. I've been hiding, trying to rebuild, but I've felt so lost." Her voice cracked. "And yet your little girl looks at me like I'm already part of her world." Daniel's hand hovered before gently resting over hers. "Maybe that's because you are." For the first time in years, Claire allowed herself to believe it. Weeks turned into months, and what started as a simple dinner grew into something neither Daniel nor Claire had expected. She became a regular presence in their lives, helping Emily with homework, joining them on small picnics, even teaching Daniel a recipe or two so his cooking disasters were less frequent. For Emily, it felt natural. She slipped her hand into Claire's every chance she got, her little heart certain she had found the missing piece of her family. For Daniel, it was slower, careful. After losing his wife, he had built walls, but Claire's quiet strength and compassion were breaking through them piece by piece. One evening, after Emily had fallen asleep on the couch with crayons still clutched in her hand, Claire lingered. Daniel handed her a cup of tea, their fingers brushing, sparking warmth neither could ignore. "You've given us so much," Daniel said quietly. "Not just me, Emily." She laughs more. "She believes again. And honestly, so do I." Claire's eyes brimmed with tears. "I thought I was broken beyond repair. But maybe love can fix people, too." Daniel reached for her hand, holding it firmly this time. "Emily was right that day, wasn't she? She saw something we were too scared to admit." Claire's heart pounded. And when Daniel leaned in, it wasn't a grand gesture, just a quiet, steady promise. From that night on, life shifted. They weren't perfect, but they were whole, learning to heal together, to trust again, and to love without fear. And Emily, waking the next morning to see Claire making pancakes in their kitchen, whispered to herself with a grin, "Told you. She's my mom now." Sometimes, the purest wisdom comes from the smallest voices, and sometimes, they lead us home. Rain poured down as Daniel tightened the last bolt under the hood of a broken-down car. He was a single dad, raising his little daughter, Emily, and running a tiny repair shop in town. Money was tight, but kindness was something he never ran short of. That evening, a nervous young woman named Claire pulled into his shop. Her car was smoking, and panic was written across her face. "I don't have much money, can you just take a look?" she asked softly. Daniel wiped his hands and smiled. "Don't worry about the money. Let's just get you back on the road." As he worked, Emily sat in the office, peeking out the window. She saw Claire pacing nervously, clutching her bag as if the weight of the world sat inside it. Emily's little heart felt something she couldn't explain. When the car finally roared back to life, Claire's eyes filled with relief. I can't pay you right now," she whispered. Daniel shook his head. "Then don't. Just drive safe." Claire's eyes softened. No one had shown her that kind of kindness in a long time. She thanked him and slid into the driver's seat. But before she could leave, Emily ran up to the open window. She leaned close to Claire and whispered words that made both adults freeze. "She's my mom. Please marry her." Claire's hands trembled on the wheel, and Daniel stood speechless, his heart pounding. Something had just changed forever. Silence fell heavier than the rain outside. Claire's eyes widened, and Daniel froze, unsure whether to laugh, apologize, or comfort his little girl. Emily, with her innocent eyes, simply smiled as though she had just spoken the most natural truth in the world. "I'm sorry," Daniel said quickly, gently pulling Emily back. "Kids say the funniest things." He forced a chuckle, but his chest tightened. He knew Emily missed her mother, who had passed away when she was just a baby. But Claire didn't laugh. Her lips trembled as she looked at Emily, then at Daniel. "She called me her mom?" she whispered, almost to herself. Emily nodded earnestly. "Because you look like someone who would love us." The words pierced through the air. Claire blinked back tears and quickly looked away, gripping the steering wheel tightly. She had been running from her own past, hiding wounds no one saw. Yet, in that moment, this little girl's innocent declaration touched something deep inside her. "I should go," Claire whispered, her voice shaking. She started the car, but her eyes betrayed her. She didn't want to leave. Daniel stepped forward, rain dripping from his hair. "Claire, wait. Look, I don't know what you're going through, but my daughter sees something in you. Maybe she's crazy, or maybe kids just notice things we adults can't. Either way, you don't have to face everything alone." Claire's grip loosened, and for the first time in years she allowed herself to exhale. The kindness of this stranger, and the innocent love of a child had cracked the walls she had built. She put the car in park. Maybe, just maybe, she had found something she didn't even know she was searching for. Claire sat silently, the hum of the engine filling the small space. Daniel stood just outside the car door, rain plastering his shirt to his shoulders. Emily leaned on her father's leg, looking up at Claire with the most innocent, hopeful eyes. "Why did you stop running?" Daniel finally asked softly, sensing more than she had told him. Claire swallowed hard. "Because I didn't want to leave without saying thank you. No one has been kind to me in a very long time." Her voice cracked, betraying her carefully hidden pain. Daniel crouched so he could see her clearly through the window. "Everyone deserves kindness. Whatever you're carrying, it doesn't make you less worthy." Emily suddenly piped up. "See? Daddy's nice. You're nice. You can both be nice together." Claire let out an unexpected laugh, shaky but real. For the first time in months, maybe years, her guard slipped. "Your daughter is persuasive," she murmured. Daniel smiled faintly. "She gets it from her mom. She always believed in people." His voice broke slightly at the mention of his late wife. Claire's eyes softened. She knew grief when she heard it. Emily reached for Claire's hand through the open window. "Don't be sad anymore. We can all be happy if you stay." The woman's hand trembled as she let the little girl hold it. A warmth spread through her, chasing away the cold loneliness she'd been carrying. She turned her gaze toward Daniel. "Maybe I could come by again. Not for the car, but for dinner? If that's not too strange." Daniel blinked, caught off guard. His heart pounded, but he smiled. "Strange? No. It sounds exactly right." For the first time, hope glimmered between them.